if you have a lemonade stand and you do $100 a week in revenue, right? And then the next week you do 200, that's 100% increase. So we had a few years in the beginning where we were growing 350%. I know it sounds really impressive, but our revenue numbers weren't that high. So then, when we got north of probably 75, 80 million, it's tough to grow at a 220% annual compounded growth rate, right? So how are we going to keep that up? And I think the time was right where we said, hey, we know we've got enough of a reputation and enough of a process and enough on the technology that now we can overlay that with Bob's temp agency, and now we could do acquisition. So, for a long time, we didn't have our ducks in a row, and it took several years to do that. So I think it was probably two factors. One is we couldn't keep up that compounded annual growth rate. And two, we finally had our systems in place where we could then acquire a company, just implement our systems and go.
Yeah.
So that's when we, signed up with a banker and said, hey, what's our company worth? And did that whole road show, which was, wow, just when you think you know everything, the universe turns around and shows you how ignorant, and I'll tell you, I was ignorant to that whole sale process.
Well, okay, so before we jump into that, because I do want to hear about what that process was like for you, when you started deciding, hey, this might make sense for us to go take our technology, take our people, do an overlay, be able to merge with somebody else. What did that process look like for you? Did the bankers drive that process? Did you bring in an M&A specialist? Did your team have experience with it? Like, how did you start to prepare for that, having not been through it before?
Yeah, the first acquisition we did completely on our own. And
you started by doing your own acquisitions.
And you ever go to somebody's house that redid their own bathroom for the very first time? Yeah, you can kind of tell.
You're like, why is there a plug in the ceiling? I don't understand.
Right. It looked like a Home Depot special. And we screwed up a lot of things. Mergers, acquisitions are never easy, and merging the cultures and all of that. But we didn't even do it right from an asset versus a stock sale, and screwed some things up, tax wise, and we learned some valuable lessons. But probably the most valuable lesson was we shouldn't be doing this on our own.
Nice. Okay. And so, how many acquisitions did you guys do?
We just did one acquisition on our own, and then when we were acquired by a private equity company, we were the platform company. They said, "Hey, we're going to do that's going to be now your main function, and now your main way of growth is acquisition." So I think we did about 5 acquisitions after we were acquired by the PE firm.
Fantastic. Okay.